Well, good afternoon, guys. This is George Adventure here. I want to do a video on some of my leather working tools that I have down here. Got quite a few, so I'm going to go over them, and I'm going to start with some of the hammers I use. So I've got these. This is a lighter weight. It's a plastic type. You know, if you don't want to put a real big indention in your leather, but if you got a bigger stamp or something like that, or you're trying to punch holes through some leather, or if you're using a fork to punch your holes in your leather for sewing, this is a good one to use. This one's heavy. This one's a lot heavier than this one. Okay, so this is some of the hammers. I've got a leather working hammer, like a shoe cobbler uses, and you can use it. You can use it for hitting along your sewing right here, just to kind of tap your sewing down. You can use it for getting these edges nice and curved and bent. You can just tap along them right like this. Boom, boom, boom. Another good hammer to have. I hadn't been using a leather hammer a whole lot, but I bought one. I found out that how nice it was to have. It does a lot of good. You got to have some measuring devices, and this is one of the ones I use the most. It's a square, and you can use it to measure with. Make a good square edge. Make sure your edges are straight and square. You can use rulers. You can also use this as a cutting edge. You can use it to run your knife down, cutting your leather. You can use another metal rulers this tight, and this is a 12-inch stainless steel one. And you can lay it down, and you can just take your knife and run it, and use it as a good straight edge. You can use a wooden one. Wooden rulers are good for measuring, especially with the big numbers on them. They're easier to see. And these little small ones, like this is 6 inches right here. So if I need something exactly 6 inches, I use this one. I'll use this ruler. It's very handy. I use it a lot. So this measuring devices here, measuring some rulers. Another thing I use is a burnishing tool. And I've got a couple of them. I actually got 3 of them. I've got this plastic one. This is the one I use the most. This wooden one here. And you can see when you burnish the edges here how slick that is. And I also use a compound, burnishing compound that's nice to use, because you just you take this and just get you a little dabber and just rub it along there and let it get tacky. Then you just take this, and when you burnish something, you don't bear down hard. You just do light strokes and just kind of fast like that, and that the friction will make it shiny. So that's one of the other things you'll need if you want to do leather working. These forks, these hole forks, punching forks, whatever you want to call them. I've got some different sizes if I can find them. But got these. I've got a couple more in there, but these you use the hammers with, the heavy hammer, and that's what you use for punching holes. The holes aren't getting all the way through on this, but you punch holes for sewing with these. You can also use a drill press with a little small drill bit, or you can use this to punch your holes. This works good also. It takes you a little longer. Also hole punches. You got to have some hole punches, because if you're gonna put any type of eyelets or these buttons, these brass buttons, or grommets or anything like that, snaps, you got to have these hole punches. You can also use the kind you grip, and that you squeeze like pliers, and I got a set of them over there. I prefer the kind you use the hammer with. They're just sorry about that. I just like them better. Another thing is these little awls. They're good for punching holes for sewing. They're also good for marking. If you want to use a straight edge here, and you just want to mark your leather to get you a straight line, there you go. You can use that. Use them. If you need to clean out a hole after you've punched it to sew with, you can use them for that. So that's another good thing. You can also use a pencil for marking your leather. Pencils work good. Let's see. Just get a hole, or well, you can't see this one, but anyway, you can use a pencil. Number two lead's the best for the pencils. I usually use these. You can see a number 2. You can see the line, the mark. So that's a good thing to use if you want to mark your leather. That's another common tool to use. Got a burnishing tool, or not a burnishing tool, but a edge beveler. I'm sorry. This is an edge beveling tool. You just take this and you just lay your leather down, and you just go right on the edge with it, and you can see it's just beveling the edge right here. Then you just flip it over to the other side here, and it's the same way. So you just bevel the edge. Once you bevel the edge, and you get all your leather glued together and get it sewn and everything like that, you can take it. I take mine after I get it sewn, and I'll put it on a light sanding belt sander, and I'll get the edges exactly even, and then I'll burnish it, and then I'll spray some water on this, and then I'll burnish it. Then I'll put the burnishing compound on there, and that's how you get the slick edge. So that's another tool. Let me find my other tool here somewhere. You also got stamps. You got many stamps to use. Whatever you want to use, you get some stamps. Got different kinds. These kinds have a little handle. This kind has a little handle that goes in it. You can get what you want from a leather place and stamp. This is a stamp. That's a turkey track. I've got my maker's mark right there. So you can get different stamps for different things, whatever you want. I've got another maker's mark. This is an ink stamp, and if I put it on there, then I'd use the dye and go over, and it locks this permanent ink in. It's another thing. Scissors. I use these scissors for cutting thread. They're small. I can just snip the thread off. And then these I can use to just cut the leather with. If I want to round it, if I just want to corner it off, however you want to do it, or just cut a piece. Kind of have to get the sweet spot on these scissors. So scissors are another thing that's good to have, especially for cutting thread. Ink pen. ink pen's good, because if you want to mark your straight edge, go to the inside of the leather, and you can use your ruler, mark your straight edge. So that's some of the tools I use. I'm gonna go over some more in another video. Different tools I use, but this is gonna be the one for today. So hope you enjoy it. If you like my video, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit a like button, and hit the bell. And I hope y'all have a great week. Be safe out there, and God bless.